Welcome to NBA Top Shot Weekly. I am Alex Kennedy. He is Oliver Maroney, and today we're joined by a special guest. He was an NBA veteran. He's now a broadcaster. He's a Top Shot enthusiast, a fan favorite, Brian Scalabrine. Brian, how are you?
I'm doing well. It's weird how it's April, mid-April. We're not in the NBA playoffs, but it is interesting just sort of watching how we walk down the last part of this season. But I'm really excited about the playoffs to get started and seeing how everything unfolds, especially with this play-in game.
Before we talk some Top Shot with you, I do want some of your thoughts just on this NBA season in general. The injuries have really stood out to me with the condensed season, the shortened off season. As a player, we've seen so many stars go down, so many key players. As a player, can you imagine? I guess what would it be like being in that situation where you're playing so many back-to-backs in 5 games in 7 nights, and you're on a condensed schedule with limited practice time and a shortened off season? I guess what are these guys going through physically?
I would have loved it, to be honest with you, because my whole thing as an NBA player, and this is probably the reason why I stuck 11 years, is because coaches love to put me into the starting lineup when guys were out. And I would, I can maintain, you still get your scoring off the bench, and I'd be replacing like a Kenyon Martin or a Kevin Garnett when those guys miss games. But I wouldn't be out there trying to score 20 points and get 10 boards like Garnett would do, but I'd just be out there and try to be solid and try to make Pierce better, make Rondo better, make Allen better, right? So those are things that I would really take advantage of nowadays. And I think when you look at it, I'm surprised we haven't gotten like better performances from role players this year, because this year everybody is getting a chance to play. And the other thing, when the NBA, they knew that it was going to be a tough schedule. They knew that 72 games and everything like that. I'm surprised that no one has adapted to like NBA players playing 25 minutes a night. If NBA players cared that much about their stats, that they want to play 33 minutes, 35 minutes just to get their numbers, I was shocked that this year alone you wouldn't find super efficient scorers in 25 minutes while they're out there. But the NBA hasn't adapted to that. But I think that would have been a move. And if I was involved in the league or with a team, I would have conversations with people about how can we make you effective every night and play between 22 and 26 minutes a night. But we haven't seen that. We just get guys playing games, and then they end up missing games because of injury or COVID or whatever it is.
That's interesting you bring that up about the minutes and like where you could dice them around and where you could have potentially, what are you talking, like 9, 10, 11 players even deep at that point going in rotations and playing roughly the same amount of minutes, give or take?
Yeah, I mean, I think a 10-man rotation in the regular season is not uncommon. Yeah. But, it's just basically when a bench player comes in there, allow that bench player to, have a chance to be successful. Like, not a starter can play bad for the first 5 minutes of a game and still end up having a really good game. A bench player really can't play bad coming into the game for the first 5 minutes. So, I feel like starters in the NBA, the gap is closer than what people think. And there's no question when you talk about elite players playing hard and bench guys playing hard, the elite players are better. But what if you swap that, right? Like worn out starters versus bench players who are playing extremely hard. I think you can get more out of your bench this year. And they don't even have to be big names. Like, guys can play well when given an opportunity to play. But those guys also, when they get a chance, they got to deliver. I think I was doing a Celtic game the other night. Lakers finished the game 26-2, and Brad Stevens had to put his starters back into the game. Those things can't happen. But from my perspective, from my NBA career, for me looking at it, I would love this year. I would get tons of opportunity to play. And I always thought when I did get it in a sort of an extended opportunity, I played pretty well.
You mentioned the gap between starters and bench players not being maybe as big as fans would think. And I think, we saw like there was a trending thing on Twitter the other day, like, oh, Patrick Beverley averaged 30 points per game in high school. And people were like blown away by that. And it's like, I don't think people realize how talented all NBA players are. And I love the fact that you're going out there and, that video of you playing against a high school kid, just dominating him in one-on-one. And I always say, like, I wish every NBA fan could go to a pro-am in the offseason and watch like the 15th guy on a roster just drop 80 points, because all these guys are, typically the best player from their city. They dominated every level, and now they're accepting a lesser role. But so I think whenever you're dominating these regular Joes, it's awesome to see. How often does that happen where guys are just challenging you to one-on-one, or maybe not realizing just how good at basketball you are? Because I think that happens way too frequently.
It happens all the time, but there's what people are a little bit confused with basketball. There's probably 100 different ways to be good and impact winning. But I think everyone looks at it like it's a one-way street. Like, this guy can score. Well, okay, cool. Can you score on the ball? Are you on-ball scorer? Are you off-ball scorer? Are you a post player? Are you a catch-and-shoot guy? What about spacing? Do you make people around you better? Can you move the ball? Are you an elite decision maker like a Draymond Green? The one thing about basketball, it's hard for people who don't follow the game to understand how there's different ways to be good. And I don't know. I don't follow other sports like I follow basketball, but in baseball, for instance, I don't know how many different types of hitters. I don't know if feel for the game of baseball makes a difference in the outcome. I don't really know any of those things. I don't know if the feel for the game in football changes the outcome, but I do know in hockey, in soccer, and in basketball, right, when it's kind of this constantly moving, you got to play offensive defense and everything like that. I do know that there are guys who are more talented in one area of the game, which people might value, but they're not as talented in other areas. And the whole point of getting a team is to find all those pieces and bringing it together. So going back to your question about people challenging me, they challenge me all the time, and I play guys all the time. I have no problem playing people one-on-one, or I like basketball. I like to compete. I'm not going to all of a sudden worry about my ego and say, oh man, what happens if I lose? I can't believe this. It'll go out on social media. And then what are people going to think of me? I don't necessarily think like that. I was a 12-year-old kid that liked to play basketball and would play one-on-one all the time growing up. And now I'm a 43-year-old kid that likes basketball, that plays one-on-one all the time. I think what stood out in that video was I gave that kid plenty of opportunity to get out of it. All right, we're going to bet an iPhone, bet your shoes. And he never backed down. So in that situation, I really didn't want to play that day. I was kind of coming back from an injury, but since he didn't back down, I couldn't all of a sudden tap out. It's just not the way that I'm wired. But I do find it funny in basketball. No one ever thinks, I could put a football pads on and I could tackle a running back. No sane individual actually in their mind think that they can do that. Nor should any sane individual believe that he can hit 100-mile-an-hour fastball, right? What is it about basketball that they think oh yeah, I can compete against that guy? I don't get why that is, but it's just the way. Maybe they don't understand the physicality of the game. The fact that
especially your size.
Yeah,
and your size, it makes no sense to me. I don't understand it. I don't get how a regular person can walk up to you and be like, oh yeah, I could just, really all you have to do, even if you're not, you were shooting, you were mixing it up in that video, but all you have to do is just go dunk on him and post him up every single time. But for whatever reason, it's just delusional, or people are way too confident about their own abilities, I guess. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
But only in basketball, not other sports.
I don't get it.
Neither do I.
I mean, yeah. I don't get it either, Scal. I only asked every weekend to try and challenge you in a game.
Oliver's that guy. Oliver's that overly confident individual that
I just like having fun with it. I like playing basketball too, but I'm not good, and I'll be straight up and honest about it. But
you want a good story out of it.
To my credit, Scal, I only challenge you on horse or pig or something like that, where I feel like there is if Scal is just off and missing shots, and I just hit a couple of lucky baskets, maybe behind the hoop or an underhanded 3-pointer, you get a little more of luck involved with the horse. So
you have a story to tell your grandkids.
There's a lot of, and let me clarify this, right? There's a lot of people that are better basketball players than me. Guys who, I played 11 years in the NBA, and I've been to 4 NBA finals. Of those 11, you see all these perpetual losers out there, right? Of 11 teams that I played on, we were probably playing for a championship 8 of the 11 years. So just imagine being a part of those types of groups for 11 years. So 8 of those years, I'm playing against Hall of Famer. When you're playing on a championship caliber team, you have Hall of Famers on your team. You have guys that are like the basketball royalty. I am around those guys all the time, and clearly, I'm not a dumb person. I'm not like, and I'm not an egotistical maniac either. But just being around Kevin Garnett makes me a better basketball player. Being around Jason Kidd, being around the coaches, Thibodeau, Doc Rivers. If you took a normal human being and put them in that scenario and somehow they lasted for 11 years, then they would also be better than me because they're just in that. I'm playing Paul Pierce. I probably played Paul Pierce 100 games of one-on-one. Sam Cassell, I probably played him 200 games of one-on-one. Like, just imagine just being in that environment over and over again. Like, it's like you're gonna get better, especially if you work and you do all those things. But I just think people think like when they show up like at their rec league games, it's the same as what NBA players do. They just show up. Man, I probably, when I was with the Bulls and I was never playing, I was spending 6 hours a day at the practice facility getting ready for Thibodeau to call my number for a minute and 30 seconds. So just like most people don't really have the time to do that. They got to work. They got families and stuff like that. I'm like struggling with that now. I'm 43. I got my radio show. I got the Celtics at night. I got kids. I got wife. I'm like dying to play basketball and as much basketball as I could possibly play. Can you imagine that was my full-time job, 6 hours a day? Like, how do you not get good at 6 hours a day of doing that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well said. What's been you made the transition to broadcasting. Like you said, you have the radio show, you're on Celtics broadcast. I feel like it always made sense. As you were a player, even, you had so much personality and you were an amazing interview. And it just made sense that, you could make that transition to broadcasting. But what has that transition been like for you, and how are you enjoying it?
So 2 things. One, I've always been this way, like talking to my coaches, rapping about basketball, debating about everything, right? I'm just a guy that likes basketball. So put me in a position to do that for all those years, right? Like, think about serious basketball for like 20 plus years, right? Me and Doc Rivers talk about stuff. Me and Tom Thibodeau would talk about basketball, what's their point of view on something, right? So I'm picking things up as I go. Obviously, with my lack of talent, I had to be a cerebral player or else I would have never made it, right? If I was just like some bonehead of a player, like I'm not like I'm not gifted. So obviously I have to understand things and understand the game at a high level, or else I wouldn't have played for 11 years. So those kind of things lined up to it. I thought I would coach. I coached 1 year with Golden State. I just didn't like it. It wasn't what I wanted to do. I enjoy my free time more. And people don't understand coaches work all those hours. But the transition for me, the most important thing was I work with Mike Gorman. I work with Tommy Heinsohn. I have a producer named Paul Lucy and a director named Jim Edmonds, right? And all 4 of those people kept it 100 with me all the way through. This was good. This was bad. More of this, less of that. So along the way, and this is the problem with our society that we live in right now, is, oh, great job. Oliver, you're doing a great job. Great job. Oh, man, that was such a great show. Great show. Great show. Oliver, I'm sure you would love for someone to say, Oliver, good show, but this, and that could have been better. And if you want to go far in this business, this is what you got to do. So I was very fortunate to have those 4 people around me that kept it real with me. And they would tell me, here's a clip of you doing good. Here's a clip of you doing bad. Do more of this and less of that. So I learned pretty quickly. And I think in this world that we live in where everyone's afraid of safe space and everything like that, if you want to get better, you got to take criticism just like an athlete would take criticism. And I think if those 4 people that I mentioned, I would not be where I'm at today and have adapted to this game if it wasn't for those 4 people.
That's really interesting that you bring that up. And I think it's you reference it in a way because sometimes there's criticism. And this is the other thing I think we have a problem with. There's criticism without the constructive nature of it. And then there's just constructive criticism like you're talking about, where it's like, hey, you did this well, but you didn't do this specific thing well. Some people wouldn't illustrate it that way. You know what I mean? Like, some people would just say, hey, I just didn't like this portion. And they wouldn't give you a reason why, or they wouldn't tell you, like, there's no backbone to it to give you a reference to be like, all right, well, I need to get better at X, or I need to get, like, you don't have that in your mind sometimes when people give criticism. But it sounds like in your perspective or in your situation, they gave you like every piece of detail needed to know what you were doing wrong, when you were doing it, and how to fix those things.
Yeah. And I'm not, and by the way, like I survived 3 years with the most like intense, crazy NBA crazy team that you can imagine. If you're surviving in the locker room on the plane rides with the '08, for me, it was '08 to 2010.
Yeah.
If you're living in that environment, you come out believing that you can do anything in the world, because like nothing is like the gauntlet of living with the Boston Celtics from 2008 to 2010, where you're on edge every minute of the day, every practice, every weight room, every bus ride, every plane flight, gambling, shooting dice, like debating who's the best all time. That team was like that. Now, by the way, players nowadays, I hear it's a lot of on my phone, doing all that stuff. They don't interact as much. All we did was interact. So if I can survive that environment, I can survive any environment. And I really believe that.
Yeah, James Posey is on our staff at Basketball News, and he has his podcast, the Posecast. He writes some articles for us, and I just love picking his brain about that Boston Celtics team and just kind of all the personalities and what it was like behind the scenes. That was an incredible team, first of all. But yeah, I mean, it also seemed pretty crazy. There's plenty of stories that come from there. But I want to ask you about this current Boston Celtics team. They've been playing better recently. They were climbing the standings until I think last night. What are your thoughts on kind of what you're seeing from the Celtics right now?
So when they're healthy, they really spread you and they move the ball. The difference between early in the season and now is their passing. I think they're passing the ball about 40 more times per game. I think that they're sharing the ball. And Jason Tatum is now becoming a superstar. And let me explain what superstars do, right? Let's say the stats are exactly the same. Jason Tatum going out there and trying to get 26 points and starting from the beginning of the game and all that stuff. That's one way to do it, and we've seen people do that all the time, and it's fine. It makes you a good player. What makes you a great player, a Hall of Fame type of player, a championship-level player, is he starts the game empowering teammates, gets everyone going, and then it kind of like he starts ramping up. He makes a shot. He gets a wide-open layup. He gets a post-up. He gets to the free throw line. Then all of a sudden the step-back threes and him against the clock, and that starts to flow. So I like his letting the game come to him and getting other people involved and then dominating in stretches. There's so many times where Marcus Smart gets a steal, throws it up to Tatum. Tatum gets a dunk. He's been struggling. I don't even want to use the word struggling because that's like, it seems like a negative connotation. He has been not aggressive so far, but all of a sudden that one dunk turns into an 18-point, third quarter. So, and he picks his spots. And when he has it going, just like any superstar should, like superstars don't search for their game. They make plays, and when they have it going, they destroy you. They just absolutely make coaches call timeout, make defenses adjust, and then all of a sudden, because of that, you got it going. You make everyone around you better. Now coaches adjust to that, and then you take over again. That's what a superstar, that is LeBron James at the highest. That's what Luka, when he's playing his best in the fourth quarter, that's what those guys are doing. They are always just like one step ahead of you. I think what we're seeing from Tatum in the last X amount of games is we're seeing that version of him. Kemba has got better. He's improved. Jaylen Brown has gotten better. He's improved. And I think they went from something like last in the NBA in hockey assists to fifth in the NBA in hockey assists, 27th in the NBA in assists to fourth in the NBA in assists. So all those things have really added up when it comes to what those guys have been doing offensively with moving the basketball.
Now, so I want to move to a little bit of like the entire NBA here and go through really quickly. If the season ended today, what would your like MVP, your most improved player, coach of the year, sixth man of the year, what would those categories be for you right now if we were to end the season? I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on that.
All right. So coach of the year is like let me just give you three guys, right? I think Quinn Snyder, I think Tom Thibodeau, and Monty Williams. So yeah. I don't like who you can argue one. Like, is Monty Williams going to get hurt by Chris Paul being there? Like Billy Donovan got hurt. Like, not. I don't. Listen, if you ask Monty Williams, would you rather have some meaningless Coach of the Year trophy or Chris Paul. I'm sure he's picking Chris Paul on his team, but writers in general might penalize him, and that's such a negative way, but putting it, but whatever. So those three guys, I would love to give it to Nate McMillan, who's been awesome, maybe the best coach since taking over, but it's like a weird scenario about taking over for a guy midseason, all that stuff, right? So it's not. I don't think we're going to go there. So I'd say those three guys. MVP is going to be Jokic, having a great season, but just a battle of attrition, right? I don't think he's missed a game all year. And other guys have missed like a quarter of the season. And Embiid's having a tremendous year, but you can't miss 25% of the season. Other guys I'd throw in there would be like I would say like a week ago, I would have said Donovan Mitchell in the top 5, Julius Randle in the top 5. Like I really like it when guys play close to whatever this year, 72 games, right?
Yeah.
So those are some of those guys. Most improved. This is always a tough one. So maybe Julius Randle on most improved. I thought he was
interesting. Okay.
I think he's the favorite. That's a great answer.
But he's really like he was a non-all-star into an all-star into a top 5 MVP vote getter. So I think one of my, and by the way, this is how I am in this business. And go figure, right? Most people aren't like this. Like I root to be wrong. Here's two guys. I'll give you an example. Like I don't like Kyrie Irving because of what happened here in Boston. I don't like the way he treated the media. He was always really good to me, but it was just like this condescending attitude and all that stuff. I can do without that. Kyrie's been tremendous this year. One of the best players to watch on YouTube, no question about it. You want to pull up unbelievable things with a basketball, he fits the bill. Another guy with going back to Julius Randle is talking about Julius Randle was a terrible decision maker back in the day. He's unbelievable now. Like his decision to drive it, shoot it, move it off the drive, draw two, find guys, pocket pass, hook pass. He's like, I never seen a transformation like this. Not in the body or his shooting's improved. His decision-making is elite right now. So I would give him that. I think that is a hard thing to improve on. And that is taking a conscientious effort of saying, I'm not good at this, and now this is what I have to do to be better. And this is what I have to do to win. And the fact that he doesn't hug and kiss guys after the game, I give him extra points for that. I'm tired of hugs after the game. I can do without it. I'm fine. If you want to hug, that's fine, but I don't have to like it. I'm just saying.
It's funny you mentioned Randall, his decision-making, because he's been so much better as a passer right now, too. Moke Hamilton, who works with us, he pointed out on Twitter that through his first 6 years, so 375 total games, he had 6 games with 10 or more assists. He's already topped that this season, 7 games with 10 or more assists. So he's facilitating way more and finding guys, like you said. So he's been incredible. It's been crazy to watch his transformation for sure.
And one step, like I'm not trying to discredit the stat. I think that's 100% accurate. But the end result to me is like I look at every shot or every possession as a decision making, right? Because sometimes the best shot is like a step back jumper. Sometimes the best shot is just to quickly move it, right? Sometimes people searching for assists doesn't actually mean it's a good decision.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
You watch them play. If you had a box, it was a good yes or a no, right? I look at everything as like ones or zeros, right? If I would have a bunch of boxes. If I had a pen and every time Julius Randle did something right or wrong, I would be like checking yes or no, right? I'd be like, yes. No. 3 years ago, I'd be like, no, yes, no, yes, no. So it's just like from getting a rebound to kicking it ahead, from attacking two and making a simple play, like all those. Maybe RJ Barrett over to Reggie Bullock, right? He might back in the day try to hit Reggie Bullock, but that wasn't there. But to RJ Barrett to Reggie Bullock, that is the decision making of Julius Randle. So I look at all the decisions, and there's a lot of yeses. Like with LeBron, it's probably yes. I mean, you hardly ever see no, except for his tweet the other day that he deleted. That was definitely a no. But besides that, like all yeses for when LeBron James plays basketball.
Yeah, no, and for Julius, I mean, that's probably a testament to the coaching too, like we talked about. So yeah, it's great, great stuff there. So I know we've talked mainly about NBA and your life and everything, but a lot of our viewers are huge Top Shot fans, so they're gonna want us to talk with you, about Top Shot a bit here. How did you first hear about Top Shot and get interested in it?
So my agent said, you got to talk to these guys. And I go, what do they do? They're like, they're selling digital highlights. So I'm like, as Oliver would tell you, anything new, I'm not necessarily for. Like Oliver, he's been trying to convince me of about 20 things for a while now, but I'm not into new things. That's not how I roll, right? I like my life. I like my life is simple. I like that. So anyway, I sit down and right off the jump, I was like, this is awesome. Because first of all, I collected cards back in the day, right? It's one thing about collecting the card. It's another thing is like collecting the clip. So for instance, and the way I use Top Shot is, the way I use it is, first of all, players I like. Second of all, plays I like. So for instance, if I see a play that's selfish, I'll sell the play. I won't keep it. I don't like that play. I see a play that's kind of an underrated play, I'll keep the play. And it doesn't, sometimes like the play is like rebound, outlet, lob. And I like the way the rebounder outletted the ball, so I'll keep the play. So, and it has to be players I like. So like Kyrie couldn't be involved, even though I like watching Kyrie, he can't be involved in any of the plays right there. So that's how I collect Top Shot. That's just my thing. And so the fact that I can control that, once again, a basketball card is just a card. I have no idea what play that was, right? I can control that and I can sell it and buy ones I do like. I love that about it.
So I have a guess on which play I think you would really, really appreciate. And I'm pretty sure you called this game. I'm pretty sure you know about it. But every time I watch this play, I think about what you just explained there in terms of like, either hustle or a hockey pass to a pass or to a shot or whatever the case may be, like the team effort side of it. So this Jason Tatum play, do you recall this?
Oh, yeah, that was sweet. Yeah, that was sweet.
The
100%.
hustle. Yeah. Like there's
hitting the floor like that, throwing it over his head like that. Yeah, 100%. That's
so Kyrie in sight. It's perfect.
Yeah. so that's cool. That's what I like about it is they gave, like Jaylen Brown had to catch and finish it, but I like how they gave Tatum like the credit on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
he fully deserves it. I mean, he's got two defenders on him, dives to the ground, the whole 100%. Thing.
Love that.
So what's your favorite moment on Top Shot right now? What is the one, even if you don't own it, like what is the holy grail moment for Scal?
Oh, I don't know. Like there's like a million of them. Okay, I guess we can look at the ones that I do have. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really into like necessarily the dunks. I do like the steal and the dunk.
So you're not big on the Anthony Edwards posterize?
And I mean, I would take it. It's like it's because it's ridiculous, but no, I mean, like you're asking me to pick one of all these NBA. It's like I'm not gonna be able to do that.
Well, how about this? What's a play from your career that you would love to see made into a moment?
Oh my gosh, I got a steal.
I'm just kidding.
I think I got a steal against the Knicks, and I threw a lob to Vince Carter. I got a steal, which is wow. And then throwing a lob to one of the best dunkers in the history of the game. Like, yeah, I don't think it gets better than that. Making big shots is awesome. There's no question. And maybe I should have valued that more than I did, but I really love passing the ball. Like, I think there's nothing better. There's nothing better than like hooking up a teammate for an assist, I think personally. But I know that like, I wish, like it'd be great, like to have more of plays like that. But once again, it's Vince Carter on the dunk, one of the best dunkers in the history of the game. I threw an underhand lob pass to him. It's like, that would be the perfect one.
Yeah, that's great. No doubt. Well, let's get to cracking open a pack. But while we're doing that, I'm curious. What's your like? If you were to let's say somebody gave you $1,000 to put into Top Shot today, who would be like the 2 or 3 guys that you would target on the platform? And you can decide between like this, I think the easy approach would be to say, oh, I just buy LeBron. But
you ain't getting LeBron. You ain't getting a valuable LeBron for $1,000. No, you got to find guys that are like undervalued. Like for instance,
there you go. Okay,
I know like Tyrese Halliburton is really into this. So because he's into this, then his value is not. There's not great value with the Tyrese Halliburton guy. I was all over Tyrese Halliburton like the 3rd time I seen him play in the NBA. I'm not going to tell you in the draft because I don't watch that much college basketball, but I watched him play and I'm like, this guy's like. It's like a poor man's version of Kerry Kittles and a poor man's version of Scottie Pippen, and you jumbled them together, and not all the good, not all the bad, just like mix those 2 guys together. And that's what I thought of Tyrese Halliburton. And the fact that he loves to win, he's got that wacky shot, but I think it's going to get better. So I like Tyrese Halliburton, but he's a big top shot guy. So obviously his numbers go up. I mean, if people find out that he's into it, then it's going to be hard to collect those for good value. So I took a flyer on Killian Hayes because I liked Killian Hayes during the draft and he was injured. So I was like, well, there could be some value with Killian Hayes. I do think that he could end up being like an elite combo guard in the NBA. So I put a little bit. I don't know Killian Hayes. I don't sit there and root for Killian Hayes. I do root for the Pistons because I like that they're kind of grimy from old school basketball. But I think there was some value in there. Now he hasn't met the expectations yet, but I think he could be really good. Sadiq Bey would be another one. Sadiq Bey might be Ron Artest type of player out there. So Patrick Williams from Chicago has got to be valued there. I think he could be really good. He has really like when he puts his shoulders down, he goes to the basket. Just watch. This is a rookie. He's like got to be 19, 20 years old. He doesn't get pushed off his line, which when I see that, I mean, the guy owns his space. That means he's going to get really good. He's just going to get better at handling and all that stuff. So those are some guys that stand out to me.
That would be my approach too. Go after the high upside rookies. I think that's a smart move. So then Oliver, do we want to start by opening your pack? And then Scal, I'm not sure if you're able to share your screen or if you want to do it on your phone and kind of show. Either way.
Tell me what you want me to do. How do you share a screen?
There should be a button. At the bottom.
On StreamYard, there's a button that says share.
I know.
Sorry.
I knew this. So you scroll down.
I see it. I see the share screen. Well, let's just do that.
Awesome.
You want? Why are we going to go me first or Oliver first?
Let's go Oliver first.
I have mine already pulled up, so I can open mine, and you can,
You can test it out while Oliver opens his.
Maybe we'll trade right off the jump.
Ooh,
I like that. I like that. So I'm big. Scal. I'm not shy about this. I'm very big on a high upside guy, Cole Anthony. That's my guy.
Yeah, big time.
Big time fan. Big time fan. A little undersized at the guard position. Like people keep talking about that being like part of the issue, but I think, yeah, like I said, long term, like when he plays, he's just got like a different level of intensity, like you were talking about.
Agree.
So.
Oh, by the way, I should mention we do have a pack to give away too. We have a pack from our basketballnews.com giveaway. Everyone go to basketballnews.com/topshot and you can enter that giveaway. We give away a pack every week. We've had 4 people now pull LeBrons from those packs. So
wow.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, it's sad. If people just watch the show, they probably think it's rigged, but we're stunned because everyone keeps saying LeBron's. But yeah, so basketball.com/topshot. And then we actually have someone that we're going to give away a pack to at the end of this episode. So stick around, you might win a pack.
Eric Paschal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get rid of that because I think he's going to get traded. So
really?
I don't like having I was so pissed that they traded Daniel Tice because I had so many Daniel Tice moments. And now I don't like having guys that were I don't know if it's good or bad, but I don't like having guys that I like a Daniel Tice for a Celtics when now he plays for the Bulls. I don't necessarily like that.
You're not a big fan. Okay, interesting. I'm a big fan of Eric. I think he's a really good player actually. I like his game. The thing that is intriguing is next season when Klay comes back and the Warriors are hopefully fully healthy. Let's cross our fingers. Where does he fit in if he fits in? And that's why you're probably saying he's a trade candidate.
He'll be on Minnesota next year. Trust me.
Oh, my goodness.
All right,
okay.
We're going to save this. If he lands on Minnesota, that's going to be incredible.
I don't know.
This was sweet. I did this game. This is a sweet play.
Oliver keeps getting this moment, I think. You've had it like several times now.
3 times.
And he's on Denver now.
I mean, This is an absurd play.
It is.
Just absolutely insane. I said if there was like a Dr. J moment from like the current NBA, like that feels.
No,
like
don't do that.
Every time,
I'm definitely
Thank
selling
you.
that one too.
Every time Oliver opens this moment, he compares it to Dr. J, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
It's just the move. It's the handle
I'm
the
not
move
doing
thing.
that.
It's just okay. All right.
That's
all
the
right,
first
all
time.
right.
I'm not going to
Javale played
sugarcoat this,
game.
by the way. If I get bad cards, I'm like, I'm selling this card.
That's the same.
Come
No,
on.
that's fine.
Can I get
That's
it?
the
Okay,
That's
Brad
the first
Beal.
time we've
I
heard Javale
remember
saying
this. This was
Dr.
sweet.
J.
This is a
was sweet.
nasty play.
He's incredible.
Look, he's probably, in my opinion, the most overlooked superstar in the NBA. In my opinion, I just don't think he's in like. Not everybody puts him in that top 20 category. That should. That's just my opinion of it.
So here's the deal with Brad Beal, and this is what I love about Brad Beal. He can get his shot off anytime he wants, right? And we all agree. We all nod in agreement when you say, Brad Beal, get your shot off. But like, I think he's one of the, besides LeBron, which LeBron has not been a great cutter this season, but Brad Beal is one of the best cutters in the NBA. So when you take his 30 points that he gets, 33 points that he gets, he's getting 8 to 10 cuts a game where he's making floaters or getting to the free throw line. And I like that about him because I will tell you, as good as he is, cutting off the ball and not necessarily getting the right pass it's the hard road to do it. Michael Jordan was a phenomenal cutter, and no one talks about that. They always remember the fadeaways, the this, the that. Jordan was phenomenal off the ball, and I like the fact that in today's game, Brad Beal is still doing that. And when LeBron was with Miami, unbelievable cutter. Because he has amazing hands and he can finish. Same thing with Brad Beal. So I like Brad Beal for that reason. And that's I would really keep that moment. That's a cool moment.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
like that moment a lot.
Oliver, what were the serial numbers on that? Can you read those off? I'm just curious.
We got 16,468, 18,386, and 25,544. So nothing really low in there. Just all high serials today, but
No worries.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll get some good ones
All
here.
right, so you want me to do this?
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
so try sharing your screen. I'll add
right.
you up here, and then we'll
Share
open your
screen.
pack up.
All right.
You just
so
click.
I got it. My top shot is in a different window.
That's
Do I
fine.
do that?
Yeah,
Can
it'll
you
still.
see that?
It's not popping up yet as like a shared screen thing.
So
Let's
do I
see.
go like- I don't know how to do this. Okay,
If you go to
How about-
share, it says share screen. There it is. Perfect. Here, I'll let you go to the Top Shot page, and then I'll add it back up. But yeah, you're
like
good.
that?
Yep. There we
You
go.
see it now?
Perfect.
Boom. I love the
Right.
Killian Hayes moment.
I
Yep,
see-
big fan.
We see tons of Daniel Tice, so we know it's your
Yeah.
page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Ice everywhere. I got to get rid of those now that he's traded.
Now
So,
go to
okay. So what do I
Yeah.
do here? I go to,
Go to packs.
packs. Yeah, here we go.
There we go.
There you go.
You can
got
open
it.
that up.
So let's open these up.
We're hoping for LaMelo. Let's get a LaMelo out of this
Ooh.
one.
What do you think of LaMelo, Scal?
I love them. Let me get my son. We all would open these together.
Okay, awesome. I love
Oh,
it.
Ryder, come here now.
By the way, that banner in the background, that Boston Celtics banner, that's amazing. That's very,
Yeah.
very cool.
Zoom flexing. All right, we're opening packs. on
Zoom
there.
flexing.
What we do.
What's
All
up, Ryder?
All right, so you can stand right there. So go ahead, open. He's my good luck charm.
Let's
This
go.
is great.
Let's get a
Okay, here we
LaMelo.
go.
That's what we're hoping for here. Or LeBron.
Who is Ryder's
First
favorite
one.
player? I'm curious.
Which one do you want to do? 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3 right away.
Oh, Pelicans 3-pointer.
Nice.
Lonzo.
Lonzo. Speaking of the devil. Good. We'll take Lonzo. And it's a 5-7-1-5 of 15,000.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's not
there you
bad
go.
at all.
Solid
not
vote
bad.
right there.
All right, so we hit this. Go ahead. Told you, it's my good luck charm right here.
Yeah, I
Come
love
on.
it.
Oh,
Giannis. Giannis?
Let's go.
Oh, it's his
Nasty.
brother.
it's his brother.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
You literally got 2 NBA brothers.
Yeah, it's true.
No, that's a good call. This is a brother
we
pack.
need like a Seth Curry now or something like that. One other
if that
brother.
comes up next. That'd be
I
great.
needed Steph. Okay, got
No,
it.
he's saying Seth.
Oh, Seth? All right.
All right.
Steph would be
number
awesome
2.
though too. Steph would be amazing.
Call this number 2.
3-pointer.
LaMarcus.
Oh, look at this.
Oh.
The cereal on that looks pretty good. No?
What is
yeah.
the serial on it?
Is it 801?
801.
Oh, 801.
Wow, that is good. And
Good
now
job, bro.
LaMarcus
Okay.
obviously had had retire early. I mean, that situation, first of all, hopefully he's okay. But what were your thoughts on that? I think it came as a huge surprise to everyone. What were your thoughts on that? And just, I mean, after learning, kind of looking into it more and like hearing about the heart condition that he had been diagnosed with in 2007, I was amazed that he was able to play for so long and dominate at that level. So what were your thoughts on that whole situation?
Okay, so let me unfold this here. The question is, what was my thoughts on him and the heart condition, or him playing with the Nets?
Retiring and then dealing with the heart condition and all that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, this is like the way I look at the game. It's great for everyone to get out on their own terms. I do love. I think playing in the NBA is such a privilege to be able to do it, and it's a shame that if a guy really was in a position to win, I do think the Nets, when healthy, are in a position to win, and he gave up money to go there. Right, he was going to get X amount of dollars. He gave up money to get out on the buyout. And it's unfortunate that it ended this way. I would like to see LaMarcus Aldridge on the sideline during the playoffs. But, when he left Portland, it just never turned out the way that everyone thought it was going to turn out for him. They thought he was going to be that next guy to carry the torch. And as we find out, it's not easy. That's those Tim Duncans of the world and those superstar players that can carry teams deep in the playoffs. That's not an easy thing to do.
No, for sure. All right, let me get my pack opened up here. Go to the right screen. Can you guys see that?
We can.
Yep, we can.
Okay, awesome. All right. So then after this, we'll open up or we'll give away the pack. Cool. Turn the audio off so it's not too loud. Okay. Right in the middle.
Block.
Hassan Whiteside block.
No, I'm definitely selling this one. Definitely.
12,384 out of 35,000. Yeah. I love the honesty, Brian.
No, I'm not a Hassan Whiteside fan.
Spurs dunk.
Spurs.
Rudy Gay.
Okay.
That is 11,333 out of 35,000.
Ooh, okay. I like these unis, by the way.
Those are sick. Yeah.
I'm sure Scal really doesn't like them. That's just my guess.
No, I'm okay with it.
Oh, okay.
I'm recruiting Rudy Gay to come to Boston next year. So.
Ooh, I like that. Okay. It's been amazing to see.
I want him to come to Boston. I think he's like a perfect complementary piece to what we have going on here.
I like that call. I think it's been amazing to see what he's been able to do since, the Achilles and all the injuries he's had. He's still been able to be effective. It's awesome to see.
For sure.
Let's see what this is. Jazz three-pointer. Joe Ingles.
I'm a big Joe. I would keep this.
We talked about Rudy Gobert.
Swap right now. What I could give you let me think.
How about this? How about I just send you this Joe Ingles moment as a thank you for coming on the show? How's that
There
sound?
we go. I'll take that.
Look at that.
Yes.
Yeah, we had
Daniel Tice.
You want 40 Daniel? I love that you have for people that don't know, Scal has 40 Daniel Tice moments.
I know.
You went all in on him. And then you got traded.
I know. I don't know how getting traded affects your value, but I don't like it. I want my roster to be updated. I don't want
Yeah, it's like having an old jersey. If you have a jersey, the guy's traded. It's like that kind of.
Unless he's a legend.
Yeah,
if he's a legend, you can wear it. But if he's not a legend, it's it just doesn't work.
No, for sure. Oliver, I want your thoughts on that. If a guy gets, because I saw some people saying if they get traded and they stop printing those moments because the guy's no longer on that team, what does it do to the value if a guy does get traded? Because I don't know.
It actually goes up because what happens is Top Shot stops printing anymore or minting anymore. So essentially, what happens is they'll turn them into limited edition moments instead of CC moments. For instance, I got a Gary Harris right before. Right after he got traded, because I knew that they would go to LE. And so the Gary Harris went up in value a few dollars. Not anything crazy, but any player that you have a feeling or an inkling that may get traded, maybe Pascal's the right one. But you buy his moments. If they're CC, they're going to LE after he gets traded. So
gotcha.
that's what they've explained. So most of the time they go up.
CC, LE, what does that mean?
Yeah, so current circulation is CC, and then LE limited edition. So essentially what happens is that instead of the serial being 35,000 plus, it just turns into 35,000. They will not do any more of them.
Got it. All right.
So it kind of increases the value. Yes, it's not as cool. It's I think of it like this way. You were talking about the stars jerseys in different teams. Like, who would want to? Well, I guess there's certainly people out there that would want an MJ Wizards jersey, but like that's not as cool as the Bulls jersey.
Yeah, or the Carmelo
unless you're a
Hawks
hipster,
jersey.
then you're kind of
that is
Okay.
true.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the winner of this pack, and again, they entered through basketballnews.com/topshot. We give away one pack every week. We gave away a LeBron moment a few weeks ago now. The winner of this pack is Castrum22. So congrats to you. Let's see what you got. We will send you these moments in 7 days. Top Shot makes you wait 7 days to gift moments. So in 7 days, you'll get these. And then 7 days, Scal, you'll get your Joe Ingles from me. So I will send that over. All right, Castrum, 22. Let's see what you got here. We got a Timberwolves. Malik Beasley handles.
Oh, nice. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Hey, that's a nice serial number. 1,129 out of 35,000. Scal.
Oh man.
Don't say it. Don't even think it.
Let's see.
That make his value go up or down? The whole Larkin Pippen thing.
I mean, more people heard about him. Like, he's more of a household name now. So I don't know. It's weighing the positive and negatives of that situation. It's a tough call.
This is a good moment. First of all, I coached Draymond, love coaching him, and I love passing. So this would be a good moment. I'd be really happy with that moment.
For sure.
Big fan of Draymond.
874 out of 35,000. Yeah, Draymond is incredible.
Yeah.
All right, last one. See what you got.
Oh, is Draymond assist again?
Another Draymond. The same play.
Oh, that's a killer. But actually, I don't think it is. You get both the moments, and I think it's a good moment. So
yeah, now you just gotta load up on this moment. You gotta just monopolize it.
My next Daniel Tice.
Yeah, you gotta be like Scal with Tice. That's you're now a Draymond collector. You gotta get all the Draymond moments.
I'm going from one white big man to another. I'm going to Luke Cornett now. That's what I load up on. Get about 50 Luke Cornets.
I love it. So yeah, we will send send these moments over to you in 7 days. Thank you for entering our contest. Again, basketballnews.com/topshot. We have another giveaway next week. So if you didn't win this one, come back next week and maybe you'll win that. And it's really easy. You basically just like us on you subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and you're entered. So Scal, we want to thank you for your time. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
You got it, guys. And Oliver, like I said, I'm real hesitant on trying new things. So I know you've been bothering me about this cameo thing, but just give me...
No. It's okay.
Yeah, just I gotta fully embrace it.
Well,
maybe you should buy one. How about this, Oliver? You buy one from me, and I'll do my first one. If I like it, we'll get some more.
Got it.
You gotta pay me to talk to me on your website.
I'll do it. I'll do it. So I'll be your first cameo call, and there we go. We'll do it that way. But is it going to be as good as who was the guy's name that was made up? What the cameo you did for Oh my God,
Big Mac. Yeah. All my cameo. Oliver, I pour my heart and soul into every cameo I do. I get into character.
Backstory for this. I'm sorry, I have to backstory. Who was it?
Big Mac. Let's call him Big Mac.
Big Mac. Yeah, no, but who was it who actually booked it? It was oh my gosh.
It doesn't matter.
Anyways, Big Mac. Big Mac. So he booked this phony cameo for Scal to play on their show. So he's like, "Hey, I'm down on my luck. I just got canned from my job or something like that. I need some inspiration." And Scal, in his backyard, is doing a cameo, and this thing is just next level. It was great.
Yeah. Anyways.
Sorry,
I love
that joke there, but it was fun.
No, that's amazing. I'm proud of you for picking up Top Shot so soon. Then so quickly. Since I know you're so hesitant to new things. So
I can completely control it. I can control the play, and I control the player. Which is
if you don't like it, you sell. Yeah, there you go.
There's plenty of people that will buy it. I'm not doing it for money. I'm just like collecting moments and players I like.
There you
Nothing
go.
wrong with that.
And yeah, no, nothing wrong with that. And the next time I see you, Scal, we'll do another horse game, and I'll hit another underhanded, 4-pointer or whatever
There we
the
go.
case may be.
And that'll
We'll
be
go
on
from there.
Top Shot.
There you go. Oh yeah, good luck with that one.
I love it. Well, everyone, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Enter that giveaway at basketballnews.com/topshot. And until next Thursday, thanks.